sexuality in the black community, we would have rejected.
Because Dr. Umar Johnson has said something that I agree with, and something we've been saying on plant for the LGBT.
Hold on, sorry.
He's saying that Obama was a plant for the LGBTQIA plus silent P crowd. Let's play the clip.
One of the reasons Barack Obama was made president is so he could normalize the LGBTQ agenda in the black community. Think about it. If George Bush tried to push homosexuality in the black community, we would have rejected him.
Of course.
If Donald Trump tried to push homosexuality in the black community, we would have rejected him.
Of course.
You could only normalize that through a blackface.
Through a black man.
Obama was made president to make it normal. When Barack Obama became president, homosexuality was not a mainstream issue, nor was it accepted as a mainstream alternative to the traditional family.
I gotta look at
By the time he left office in 2008, they were completely running everything.
Was
and
that
if
the
you
year?
even disagreed with, I'm gonna give you an example.
It is.
I do
You
a
might
lot
be
of
right.
graduation speeches, right? At the June.
Okay.
Elementary school, middle school, high school. I normally do about 20 graduation speeches a season.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
When Barack Obama was president, I might have did 5. It dropped significantly. Schools who I normally did their commencement, they was calling me up, Dr. Umar, we can't have you speak this year. Why? The LGBTQ say you don't agree with them, you can't speak. I said, but this is a graduation speech. This ain't politics. This is motivation. Get ready for the rest of your life.
Right.
What does LGBT got to do with my 10-minute speech motivating these 12th graders to make sure you do well in college?
Right.
Well, we have LGBT teachers and they're saying you're insensitive and you're homophobic. So I saw how not agreeing with the lifestyle could limit your opportunities in life. You had people getting fired from jobs, not for pushing hate, because I don't agree with hate.
Right.
I don't agree with the lifestyle.
Right.
But I don't want harm for any human, no matter what their situation is.
That's the way to do it.
But the way that they did it was the LGBTQ said, to disagree with me is to hate me. They created a narrative that if you disagree, you support violence against me.
Right.
You don't want us to work. You want us to be shot, killed, man. We never said that.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
We just said we don't agree with the lifestyle.
Right.
But they turned it into a whole campaign against anybody who disagreed with it. And that's another reason why a lot of people didn't vote for Kamala Harris, black men, because they got tired of the effeminization. And then they took it to Africa. Obama started it. He went to Africa. He went to Liberia. He went to Rwanda, a couple other places. He said, if you don't legalize gay marriage, we cutting off your aid.
Is he wrong on anything? I don't know. Matter of fact, we're just going to let this play. We're going to let it play. I think they had an interesting interaction. And I want to play a little bit more because they share a view similar to me when it comes to Dr. Umar. You know, some of the things I disagree with Dr. Umar, like anybody, but he's very passionate about certain things that I think he hits the nail on the head with. But y'all take a listen. Y'all tell me what y'all thoughts are. Do you think Obama was used as a plant? Do you think he was used as a tool when it comes to pushing a lot of these LGBTQ agendas? Because remember, when Barack Obama became president, black people, we were so excited to get him in office. But once he was in office, we didn't he could do no wrong. We were more concerned about how Michelle was going to dress at an event than the policies that Barack Obama was pushing. We didn't even pay attention. Nobody really knows it. We never even paid attention to the stuff that he was pushing. Never paid attention to it. Never paid attention to it. And then you have to ask yourself, if you can get black people to excuse certain things or to not pay attention to something when it comes to the LGBTQ community, then you can really push it on all of America and American culture. Because when you really look at it, in the black community, there was probably more of a stigma on LGBTQ than a lot of other communities in America. But using Barack Obama to push this excused it because we were just looking at it. Well, Barack said it's cool, then it's cool. You know, Barack rocking with it.
That's some of the best work I've ever heard from Umar. It's why.
And y'all do me a favor, Ski just reminded me, make sure that you like. That's going to help the algorithm. So do me a favor, take a second right now. Do me a favor, take a second right now. Just hit the like button. Please just hit the like button. All right, thank you.
Umar will do some silly things, say some things I disagree with, and who knows what he's done with the money for his schools. And I don't say that in a disparaging fashion, but I Umar says a lot of things that I disagree with, but he also says a lot of things that I have to just tip my hat and say, hey, man, I appreciate you saying that, because that breakdown of the consequences of not being on board with the LGBTQIA plus silent P alphabet mafia agenda. That's what no one ever wants to talk about it. And like me doing this show the way that I've done it, I know the consequences in terms of, I'm untouchable. I'm reviled in legacy media because the gay crowd has so much influence over human resources departments throughout corporate America that, you know, I'm as toxic and as nuclear as you could possibly be. And it does cost you opportunities. And you sit around and you wonder why Stephen A. Smith or some of these other people, it's like they always tip their hat and bow to the transgenders and the gay deal and all this other stuff, because they know that's the only way to keep the money flowing. And Umar just pointed it out in a hats off to Umar. Anyway.
Do y'all remember when even in sports they were trying to, for pride, they were trying to have, I think it was, they were trying to have like a couple baseball players, or maybe they did it across the board when it came to sports, but a couple baseball players stood up and said, we're not doing that. And I think a couple hockey players, they said, nah, we're not rocking with that. And they were made out to be villains for not supporting this agenda, supporting this movement. That's what they try to do, in my opinion. When you look at it, a lot of times we talk about other groups and the power that they have because you can't even mention them, right? Me not even mentioning them, right? But look at the LGBTQ. They got that same power. They have the same power in a lot of ways. I think, I'm not even going to say the same power, but when Barack Obama maybe was in office, they had the same power. I wouldn't say that they have the same power now. But I'm in agreement. Let's kind of just leave that there. I think, well, let's see if Shamika,
your thoughts,
we'll give Shamika a second to give her thoughts.
I completely agree with him in this take also, Jason.
Oh,
I can remember it was like 2015, 2016. I did a video and it was titled, Get This Gay SHIT Off TV, because I remember watching.
Actually, we got to hear this discussion. I forgot where they're about to go with it. Pay attention to this, and I want y'all to tell me if y'all noticed this in the shows that y'all are watching as well.
Empire during this time, and they had.
This is why I stopped watching Empire. I remember that a long time ago, and I just remembered it when she said it.
So many gay scenes. Like there was one scene where a spouse or a partner, whatever, walked in on his other partner who was on his knees and the guy's pants were open. For me, I was like, this is regular TV. Why is this coming on at 8 o'clock on a Thursday? Kids are still awake. This is not cable TV or what was known as cable TV back in the day. This is so wrong. And I can remember people coming after me being so upset that trans Madison something, she came after me. Video just went viral. But my problem was during this time, during Obama's second term, is when I began to see it was rampant and it was all over the place. And they were asking kids in school, what do you want to be called? A she or a he? And they were saying, are you a prince or are you a princess? And you don't give young children that choice. And it was like out of nowhere. And as he said, George Bush wasn't pushing that. It was pushed under Obama. The whole legalization of gay marriage, this was all Obama. And that's what kind of began to open my eyes, because of course I was one of the ones in 2008 that voted for Obama simply because he was Black. I fell for it. And then during his second term, I was thinking something's not right. And that's what it was for me. It was the whole LGBTQ agenda that, he was pushing. I think he was the first president that lit the White House in rainbow or whatever. It was ridiculous, and it was all over the place. And as a mom who had kids in school at the time, it really upset me. So I appreciate Umar for saying this, and I do understand, and I agree with what he's saying. They come after you if you just say anything against it. I did a video against Nas X when he did the whole devil video.
I want to fast forward a little bit to Jason Whitlock talking about The Wire and a few other shows,
TV shows, you know,
that
from
it came up in.
The Wire, in movies, Brubaker, anything about, and I'll stand by that. It's a great show.
You guys remember
now,
this?
even when I look back at The Wire, which is my favorite TV show of all time, and I'll stand by that. It's a great show. But it was, they intentionally
Ursi, are you serious?
made the two most heroic characters, Omar Little, I don't know if you watched this, The Wire, Omar Little, and then this black woman cop, Kima. They were the most righteous and ethically, both of them was gay. And this is not by accident. And so when you thought about the people that had the most integrity as it relates to The Wire, it was the Omar, the gunman, that robbed people and was the honorable drug robber or whatever, and then Kima, the cop. These were the most honorable, ethical people. And I was like, this isn't by accident. So for me, I can love The Wire, continue to watch it. And The Wire had great impact on my worldview. And at that time, in whatever years this was, in the early 2000s, I got to say The Wire was effective in influencing me into thinking like, yeah, we just got to be more accepting of the LGBTQIA, blah, blah, blah. And I remember thinking that because I had so much respect for Omar Little. And so the programming and the manipulation has always been there. And so now I've reached the point, and maybe I've just gotten too righteous, too old, too fuddy-duddy.
Listen to this one.
I want to see no sex in none of these TV shows or movies. It's all pointless. It's all unnecessary. Don't show me heterosexual sex. Certainly don't show me gay sex.
Boogie
but
bug.
I get uncomfortable. Even when it's heterosexual sex, I'm just like, why are they doing this? This is a waste of time. I don't.
Yes.
They doing it for the same reasons that they putting it on Instagram, X, whatever. It's all to influence culture, in my opinion, and it comes in the form of entertainment. So we just naturally start accepting things when your favorite characters on a lot of these TV shows are the people that you look at of having the most integrity and moral compass. When those individuals are the ones that align, it's going to push and promote the culture in that direction. And let me be very clear. Whenever we talk about the LGBTQ movement, I think for me, maybe this is just me being comfortable because I think about a lot of the people that, you know, I have in my circle that fall into this category, or the ones that do. And I always want to make sure that I separate the actual movement from the actual people. A lot of the stuff that's being pushed and how aggressively it's being pushed, a lot of the people that I speak to in the LGBTQ community, they don't want that stuff either, because it actually it shines a light on them, or puts a lot of, it makes them a target for a lot of this stuff as well. And to Jason Whitlock's point, it's almost like, you know, why does sex need to be shown on TV anyway? You know, why does there need to be a sex scene? So I would be cool if a lot of this stuff was taken out. I don't know why. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think when you acknowledge how much it impacts you, then maybe that's why you can now move to a place where you're like, yo, what does this need to even be on TV for in the first place? But let's move on. We got Boog, who just joined. Earth just said something wild. And let me say what Ebony said a little bit earlier, where everybody in power looks out for their own. Obama was no different. Kamala brought in immigrants because of her parents. Trump has all the white folks feeling empowered. Okay. One of the reasons I stopped watching regular TV, the random agendas were unsettling, and I'm grown. And this is wild. Urs wrote, Netflix requires 10% of characters in movies or series to be homosexual. It's required. And this is the thing, like, why create, like, it's like you're trying to create some level of animosity when you do stuff like this. It's like, why are you trying to push it down people's, why are you trying to jam it? Why are you trying to, yeah, that's crazy. Can't even say a word out here without hearing Ant in my head saying no homo. Or I'm sorry, you can't say, hold on. My bad. I forgot it was changed to, wow. I'm going to get in trouble. My apologies. No homo was not what I meant to say. It's the pause. The only reason why I said that, because that's where the pause came from. People were saying that, and then it came out that it was offensive. So, and there's nothing wrong with me. Let me be very clear. There's nothing wrong with, I know some people who are Christian and they tie their views on this to their religious beliefs. They'll say that there's something wrong with being gay. They'll reference Sodom and Gomorrah, all these different things that you can reference. Even actually, if you look at, when it comes to the transgender community, when you look at the history of Hitler in Germany and when Hitler came into power, neither here nor there. But I personally, I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue. I'm not one of these people that say this is wrong. Not at all. It's just the saying that people use when they're trying to say something that sounds funny. It's just a funny thing. Yo, why am I explaining this? You see what I'm saying? All right, moving on. Ev said, I say that all the time. Take the sex out and put in a better plot. Facts. You're definitely not tripping. They make it a point and will take down an entire series for no DEI or homosexuality. Sex sells. That's why. Disgusting. I agree. Antonice in the building. Shout out to Antonice. Make sure that y'all like. Show all that sex. Antonice said, good morning, y'all. That is wild. No, they're trying to create normalcy. Pause. It was a part of the communist agenda. Antonice be on it. Dak explaining no evolution of pause using religion and Hitler is exactly why. Yo, I told y'all, man, my mind is always moving my mind is all over the place. My mind is all over the place, which reminds me of an interview that Elon Musk's dad did that we may talk about a little bit later. But yeah. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.